with an invite to elevate with K. How y'all doing, man? Also, y'all already know the vibes. UNMATCHEDKSTEVENSON.DESIGN. Like I told y'all, there's a brand new collection, as y'all can kind of see, getting ready to roll out as well. That's a part of the might as well get fits off hat collection. Y'all know the vibes if y'all kind of seen like the one I kind of got on right now, the yellow joint. Yeah, for sure. UNMATCHEDKSTEVENSON.DESIGN, man. That's where y'all can find those. We got a couple of more surprises for y'all. I'm gonna let those kind of speak for themselves too. So shout out to y'all too for y'all that's been kind of asking about a couple of the hats and things like that. uh y'all will get a chance to see this one for sure. This is a definitely a special reason behind a couple of these as well too. So y'all will also get a chance to kind of see that as I kind of unveil these. It's gonna be a slow burn. Y'all kind of enjoy the show, get your popcorn ready, and have fun with these for sure. But you can always check out the site for that as well. Another thing, I'm gonna also kind of get into the idea of some of the pieces and how I got inspired by that as well too. I know I got a couple of DMs from y'all kind of asking me what kind of inspired me to kind of work on some of the new pieces and some of the new things. And you know what, man, I decided this is kind of a good day to kind of like share some of these things with y'all too. So some of the pieces and a lot of things that I kind of craft, especially when y'all kind of get a chance to see a lot of the hats and stuff like that. The biggest thing is the everyday thing, the everyday lifestyle. Everything is pretty much, I'm really, really, really big. Like I just said, being present in the now. And for me, I'm a big firm believer that the hat is like the essential to the uniform of every kit, bro. Every fit, bro. Every vibe. Like, so it's always like I'm one of those guys that's gonna lay out the whole fit, and then the hat is like I spend the most time thinking about the hat 1,000% of my days. So it's kind of like I always kind of be I'm very mindful of that. I'm very big on that. My friends kind of know that. A lot of y'all that's kind of been rocking out with the brand knows that the hats is like the most essential thing. So it's kind of like once again I'm kind of vibed and I'm kind of excited about the rollout of a lot of hats and a lot of different vibes. And one of the things too that I've been into as of recently for you guys is a specific uniform for individuality. And what I kind of mean by that is kind of like we all kind of got like vibes in a super uniform kit and a super uniform way of how we kind of express our everyday fashion, our everyday wear, and our everyday vibes in our day-to-day times and things like that too. So I kind of wanted to make sure every piece that you guys kind of see, be it that it's going to be kind of a part of our own uniform, our own kind of membership, our own kind of like exclusive. This is kind of like what it means to be a part of the K vibe. It's kind of like we're all going to be a part of this cool exclusive group where once again, when we all are going to get our matcha or we are going to get a little vibe or some nice sushi or something like that, you're going to run into somebody else and you see them with the K hat on and things like that. Y'all high five each other and catch vibes and shit like that because it's going to be very exclusive and it's very important to keep things in a certain manner to where we kind of like we all kind of remain in a certain membership and a certain framework where it's kind of like, oh shit, he's cool, bro, right there. You passed the cool test and the vibe test right there because it's like, all right, we all got on this thing that kind of like embodies each other and we all kind of we remain in the unity mindset and the unity framework. It's no different than kind of being a like a Formula One racing team, or it's no different than being like a super cool high level NFL team or some shit like that, where it's like we're all one and we all is when you all if you're a fan of the Yankees or if you want to fucking sit up here and you want to wear like your favorite New York Knicks hat or something like that, it's no different when you wearing one of these cool K hats and stuff like that. Next thing I kind of want to tell you to also want to talk about today is remaining optimistic in any endeavor. Remaining optimistic in any endeavor is one of another key things too, because you got to kind of always, and it's not expecting, but at least hoping the outcome to be the best outcome for you in that given circumstance. It's going to help you remain in the moment, help you understand why you're in a certain moment, and being optimistic in that endeavor can help you overachieve. It can help you climb different doors. It can help you break down different doors and things like that. Because if you're remaining optimistic in your circumstances and in the endeavors that you're kind of allowing yourself to be a part of, then that's where the magic kind of happens. You go into that new environment. Oh shit, this is my first time speaking here. All right, cool. You're gonna stay optimistic that you know what? I'm gonna sit up here. It's somebody I'm gonna see in the crowd. I'm gonna sit up there. I'm gonna wink. I'm gonna go ahead and make a like nice little joke. They gonna laugh. They gonna enjoy this shit. That's remaining optimistic that the shit is gonna go smoothly. First time you gotta make your first 3 hour road trip. For the first time, you gotta sit up here and you gotta go to a trade show. You gotta do some cool shit like that. All right, I'm gonna remain optimistic that the vibes are gonna be right. Everything's gonna go smoothly. I'm gonna meet some new people. I'm gonna get engaged. I'm gonna network. Then when you go there and you remain optimistic in that circumstance, that's where the cool shit happens. That's where you get that follow up from this next person. That's where you get to meet this new person that's gonna give you a new opportunity. That's where you meet this cool friend that you didn't have 48 hours ago if you didn't just sit up here and go through with the fucking thing that you was doing. Next thing you know, you guys are collabing on some cool pieces and shit like that. So remaining optimistic in those circumstances can kind of help you carve that out, being cognizant, remaining mindful of those different things. And then once again, being optimistic in those endeavors, shit, you're going to be optimistic in everything at that point. So you're going to be always kind of telling yourself, reminding yourself, and also telling the people around you, your peer group and shit like that, yo, it's going to be all right. This is going to go smooth. This is going to go the right way. This is going to go properly. And in that way, that's helping framing your mind to a different kind of a different way to once again, yes, it's bumpy roads. Yes, it's different things that go on in the day to day that can frustrate, hinder, interrupt, disrupt the process. That's all right when you kind of remain optimistic. It's a lesson to be learned, and even in the failure, it's a lesson to be learned, even in, and when you scrape and you bruise your knee. Now you're gonna learn how to sit up here and say, all right, next time I do this shit, I'm gonna make a left instead of doing this right that I tried to do. You're gonna sit up here, you're gonna tinker, you're gonna keep getting better at something. And that's always kind of telling you that once again, getting a bump in the road, bruising the knee is never the end of the road. It's just a nice little scratch and it's a nice story and it's gonna remain a good memory that you're gonna have that's gonna tell you shit, every reason to get up, get out there, go do it again, keep pushing, keep trying, keep on going. Always tinker your process as well. Tinkering the process is always fine tuning. It's no different. We all kind of check our phones, and every now and then it tells you just got a little nice little software update. Same thing with the brain. Same thing with kind of how you do your own process. Always fine tune. Find different ways to get inspiration. And find different ways to think about things in different frameworks, different ways, so you can always execute different visions. Like I always kind of tell y'all, it's always dope to be multifaceted. It's always dope to be interested in different endeavors. I'm a firm believer that you can own a sneaker store and be a primetime actor and also do some cool shit where you fucking are a part of a jazz band in nightlife. It's just kind of how you balance your time. It's also how you utilize your talents, and then also the biggest thing of all is how you kind of trust life. However you kind of trust life, you got to kind of trust life, because once you kind of trust life, you also will be able to trust self. You'll be able to trust self. You'll be able to utilize these different things and have a belief system to where every experience can become golden. Every experience can become uh, a new entryway to a new endeavor. It can it can always help you fine tune different things and all types of different shit. When I'm sitting up here and bro, when I'm making new leather, bro, it's helping me make super cool hats. It's crazy how kind of the mind works when you kind of allow it to kind of just help your process and let different things flow. Different things and the craziest things will inspire you to make different things or want to make different things or have different things exist in real life. So it's kind of that kind of mind frame where you got to kind of always be very aware of what's around you, what you're seeing, trusting that shit, and then utilizing that shit. Turn it into a movie. Turn that shit into a Martin Scorsese film when it's like, yo, every day, get into a round table. Think about the things that you've seen. Think about the people you interacted with. Think about the new thoughts. Think about the new shit you learned. Write that shit down, bro. Write that shit on a sheet of paper. Write that shit in your notes. And I'm telling you, that can turn into a collection. That shit could turn into a menu. That shit could turn into a whole new album. It's just literally how you kind of just look at life and kind of how you just kind of frame your own belief system. But once again, all you got to do is just trust the shit around you. Trust the things that you seeing, trust the things that you hearing, trust the things you're indulging in, and discipline, staying cognizant to the things and the people around you as well. Most importantly, as always, you already know the vibes. Go to UNMATCHEDKSTEVENSON.DESIGN for all the one-on-one pieces, for all the rare vibes. For you already know, you feel me? You know, got a couple pieces on right now for sure. Bragger movie, T vibes, things like that. So make sure you tap into the website unmatchedkstevenson.design. But also, I wanted to kind of talk to y'all about the idea of elevating. Elevating can come to a number of different factors and play a number of different parts in your life and different areas as well. So what I mean by that is you can elevate your mindset, you can elevate your surroundings, you can elevate your standards. So you can kind of elevate your mindset by kind of just putting things on paper, putting things in your notepad, applying the things like using your phone to kind of say, you know what, or even using voice memo on your phone where you kind of just say, you know what, let me go and attack these things. Let me put down a couple of New Year's is coming up, so let me put down some New Year's resolutions. And then at the same time, when you put those things down, you kind of look at it and you kind of say, you know what? Let me also apply that, and you know what? Let me also make that exist in my every single day life as well. So when you kind of putting those things down to your notepad, to your phone, and things like that, that can also be a constant reminder for yourself to kind of remind you, you know what? Let me kind of stay true to myself, stay true to my word. And that gives you a chance too, as well, when you're doing those things, to tell your friends around you, share that with other people. So then once again, that's the whole thing about the elevating your surroundings aspect of it as well, where then now you're kind of moving in a direction where things are kind of, you're expanding your mindset, you're expanding your circumstances, you're expanding your success. So once you get a chance to kind of do those things, you're elevating your standards. Then when you're elevating your standards, once again, everybody around you, everything starts to move at a different place, a heightened place to be exact as well, to where now everything is abundance, everything is confidence, everything is a belief system. Once again, just because you can look back and tell yourself 6 months ago, oh wow, I put these things in my voice memos, now I'm getting a chance to apply these to my every single day life. And there's things that are changing for me. Now, once again, you share that with your best friend. She's doing the same thing. You share that with your best friend over here. He's doing the same thing as well. So once again, it's just kind of that belief system where you just kind of understand it to yourself and you reminding yourself, yo, I can do these things. And then it's also the accountability aspect of it where you're doing a mirror check, getting a chance to kind of see that when I'm putting these things down, I'm looking at the voice note. I'm listening to the voice note rather. I'm looking at the notes in my phone. Now I gotta just kind of keep myself true to it. I gotta keep myself disciplined enough to be able to execute this and keep this doing it and make this a daily habit consistently all the single time. That's a good part of it as well. When you also kind of thinking about it, at least for me, that's kind of how I do it when it comes to the design aspect of it as well. I use my notes, man, for every single thing that you guys see get released. It always starts. I'm a big firm believer as it always starts with a thought. So a lot of the times I'm catching vibes. I'm just sitting up there thinking about different things. I'm sitting there getting inspired by different books, listening to a lot of different music, have a lot of cool friends, fortunately. So because of that, I then start to just kind of jot down ideas and the inspiration of the things that kind of how we're living. And once I kind of told y'all in the previous pod, everything is based on real events. So because everything's based on real events, it's kind of what's going on around me, what's going on that I'm kind of actively currently indulging in, what I'm kind of vibing with, and you kind of get a chance to see that through also the pieces and the things that I also get a chance to craft as well. So when I'm making these collections, when I'm coming out with new different hats and things like that, it all kind of comes from a certain aspect, a certain different thought that kind of started off as, like I just said, as something that was in a note, man. You got to kind of be cognizant of that because it's key to always execute the ideas, bro. Executing the ideas, always seeing whatever it is that you kind of leaning towards, whatever it is you thinking about opening that ice cream parlor over there, thinking about opening that sushi restaurant. You got to kind of use that thought, and you got to kind of be cognizant enough to kind of say, you know what, this can be applied, this can exist in the world, this can happen. So once you kind of take that idea, once you kind of take that thought serious, you can kind of manifest that and start building and building and building empires and doing different things like that, and being able to hire different people and then have different people fly in to experience your restaurant or come in and experience whatever food or whatever it is, the business that you're getting up there, sitting up here thinking about opening. So let's always just be cognizant of whatever it is that you kind of thinking about as a thought. That shit can manifest into reality, and it can manifest into reality faster than you fucking think. So that shit is always something that's got to be in the back of your brain whenever it is that you sitting there in the car chilling, thinking about these different ideas when you're in the highway or some shit like that. You got to kind of tell yourself, you know what? This shit can actually exist in real life. So just make sure you just aware of that in your every single day habits. Next thing I want to kind of talk to y'all about is confidence and self-confidence. Having confidence within self, you got to kind of be able to always believe in yourself in every circumstance, especially when, once again, we talking about flourishing your ideas and executing ideas. You got to have confidence in the belief system in yourself that these things are worthy enough, valuable enough, exciting enough to be able to exist in certain and different spaces, so everybody can fucking enjoy it, have a good time, and really receive it the proper way that you hope to have it being received. So always kind of have that confidence and self-confidence within, where it's kind of like it doesn't have the total line of being arrogance. It doesn't have the total line of being brash or harsh or anything like that. It's just one of those things where you kind of just telling yourself mentally and on the inside, yo, you know what? Everything is kind of going to be groovy because of the confidence and the different things that you kind of put discipline to, and you kind of just kept your steps the proper way. And one of the ways you kind of keep your steps the proper way, always listen to the right type of music. Always listen to the right type of tunes too, because your vibes can always dictate. That shit can be a soundtrack to your life. So it's always like listen to modern, good, groovy vibes. You start crafting new groovy, super cool things. You start listening to a cool rapper or a cool artist or a cool singer that's talking about groovy vintage denim and things like that. You can start applying that to your collections and shit like that, where you like, you know what? Let me craft some super fire patchwork denim jeans and make them super rare, make them super archival, and hopefully, like, it's gonna be a gathering. It could be 10 to 20 to 40 to 100 people that's also gonna gravitate to those patchwork jeans and be like, you know what? I need those. I need to tap into that. So always utilize different things around you, and always allow that to kind of be the soundtrack, the backdrop for all of the new collections, the new ideas, the new patterns, whatever it is, to kind of shape that into your life, and you're able to make that thing your reality by kind of just allowing yourself to exist in these different spaces by creating different pieces and different rare vibes. To always create different movie scenes and things like that. Thirdly, we also want to kind of talk about today is the idea of believing in and trusting your own process. Trusting your own process is kind of being cognizant and staying patient and being in tune with self and moving at your own pace. Certain times you can get sped up. Certain times you may think you overthinking different things like that. You got to kind of stay cognizant, stay always in the moment. One thing about it is always never losing the sight of being in the now. Being in the now is really important, and that allows you to always kind of trust your process, because in those times you're going to have certain things where it's certain ways where you may get inspired, where you may need to go take a walk or a 15 to 30-minute time to to drive or some shit like that, to kind of just get your air. Or you just may need to sit there, listen to music, or you may need to go and call a friend or something, an event or something. So everybody kind of takes their process differently, and that's where the trusting kind of comes in. To where when you're crafting ideas, when you're kind of building new ways, when you're kind of doing different things, you gotta trust that your process is the right way. It's gonna be the right way, and everything will be smooth. That shit is always, I understand, it's always gonna be easier said than done as well, because it's going to be different bumps in the road in the midst of the process, in the midst of the day-to-day, in the midst of your daily habits. It's going to be things that's going to always try to just maybe shape your process in a certain different way, kind of try to just get you to kind of say, you know what, I don't want to go about it this way. And then that's where the trusting of the process comes into play, where you can kind of sit up there and say, you know what, I remember putting this down. I remember saying, you know what, I'm going to finish this in 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. You execute it that way. You keep on trusting the process. You keep believing in self. You keep listening to the things that you kind of said. And then that's when you kind of make it easier to make your own way. So always be cognizant of that. Be aware of that. be very, very, very mindful of those different things too, because at the same time, one idea, one thing that's a thought pattern, one idea that's a project can lead to 3 ideas, 4 projects, 5 projects. It just all depends on what your belief system is. It all depends on what the framework is as well. Next thing I want to kind of talk to you guys about is always sitting up here and searching, finding, and understanding different forms of inspiration. Inspiration can always come in multiple different facets in every single day in life, meaning you can sit up here and you can be inspired by a brand new book, you can be inspired by a brand new movie, you can be inspired by people that you interact with on every single day to day, every conversation, everything that you kind of see, everything that you kind of interact with in your day-to-day life, that shit can be golden for everything that you kind of utilize in any space, any pattern, any